Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to PhoXy Blitz. And this is part 3 of the Aces of the Week gallery for week 3, March 2019. This time we're just looking at tank destroyers. So, first and foremost, without any further ado, we have got a good friend of mine, John T 2014 of the clan EMRS, rolling out in the WZ111-1G FT, the Chinese Tier 8 TD on the EU server. And this is an absolutely fantastic tank. Let's not mince our words here. The Chinese TD line, with the exception of the Tier 10, is slightly OP. And I say slightly OP because they're not OP, they're not broken, but they are slightly OP. I mean, the armor is a bit trollish, and the gun is fantastic, believe it or not. I mean, these things are just great. Okay, you're only dishing out, what, 460 damage on your standard AP, and you're dishing out 660 on your HE, which doesn't put it in the realms of being the best TD in its tier. Clearly it's not. I mean, it's competing with the likes of the ISU 152 and the Jag Tiger 88. I mean, it's as simple as that. But this thing has mobility. It's got good armor. Again, it hasn't got the best hit points. It's mediocre. It's got quite good penetration. Again, not the best. And it's got a relatively longish base time. Pretty trolly, to be honest with you. And it looks on paper a mediocre tank, but it's not. I mean, this thing is just spectacular. And there are a lot of tanks out there that on paper look mediocre, and they're not. It's just one of those things. And John T is rolled out in this thing, and as you can see, okay, people are popping him left, right, and centre. But wow, I mean, it's just fantastic. It really is a fantastic TD. And if anybody has bought the premium tank before the Chinese line fully came out, they'll know how trolly the Chinese TDs are. A lot of people don't like them, a lot of people love them. I mean, effectively, this thing is, developed from the Russian TDs. And if you look, the lower hull looks strikingly similar to an Object 704, which is a Tier 9 Russian tank. This is a Tier 8 Russian tank. So its equivalent tier is the ISU 152. And again, it has it's got a nice gun on it. It will dish out a shed load of damage. And it's a similar style of play to the ISU. Difference between the two? Well, the ISU's got a much better gun, a lot more damage. This thing has got more hit points and slightly better armor. So you can see there are good and bad points, which makes it a relatively balanced tank rather than an OP tank. It's certainly not the best in its tier, but wow, look at that. I mean, Jont is just able to wipe out that other ISU. And that's just a fantastic way to play the tank. And, over 3,250 damage, a well-deserved mastery. And I'd like to thank John 2014 for kindly sharing that replay. Next up, we've got another good friend of mine, Harrier77 of 49 div, rolling out in exactly the same tank. So, it's clearly a tank that people like. And just the same way as John T's just played his tank, I think you'll find Harrier play it a similar way, which is it's played almost the same style as the ISU. You can afford to be slightly aggressive in it, and you can. I mean, John T was aggressive, but John T's an aggressive player anyway. And okay, whilst it may not look like Harry is being aggressive at the moment, give it time, guys. The game's young. I know a lot of you are sat there going, but the ISU 152 is much better. Yeah, the ISU 152 is a spectacularly fantastic tank. But so is this. I mean, this is a really great Tier 8 TD. It really is a great tank. And if you haven't got it and you're grinding your way to it, it's well worth it. Believe me. I mean, look at that. I mean, he's just bounced over 400 from that T-34 over there. Okay, the other tank popped him and managed to get some hit points. But it's a fair trade. I mean, wow, he's already bounced, 900? And he's down to just less than 1,500 damage. This is what this tank can do. I mean, he's effectively squaring off against a T-34, 1776, and an IS-6, two formidable tanks, in fairness. They're no shrinking violets. And Harrier is not thinking, oh, I'm in a world of pain here, I'm going to disappear. Of course he's not. Look, he's pushing. And this is what you can do in this thing. And there goes number one. Okay, it's got a slightly long reload. Yes, it has. But he's pretty safe here. He's searching for his targets, and you can afford to do... Oh, look at this. I mean, boom. Another 400 into the side of that IS-3. The IS-3 is now a one-shot. The T-34 is a one-shot. The IS-3 is gone. The T-34 is still there, I think. Yes, he is. There he is. And, he's not long for this world. Let's be honest. I mean, if Harrier doesn't get him, somebody else will. And all because of what Harrier's been doing in the tank. Over 2,600 damage. Bounced just shy of 1,000. He's taken one kill, but he's been instrumental in taking out some really big tanks. Now watch this. I mean, another big 447 roll. And then a massive, massive bounce from that Borsig. I mean, poor Borsig, he must have thought, yeah, I'm on a winner here. And it's just bounced. He's now bounced 1,200. Dished out 2,400 in damage. I mean, it's a fantastic tank, guys. And like I said, if you haven't got it and you're thinking of getting it, it's well worth it. It really, really is. I mean, look at this waffle tractor. And he's just taken a big hit from Harrier 77. Okay, he didn't finish him off. He's now going to chase him down. It's 2 against 1. And Harrier's going to chase him down in a TD. And what's he going to do? Oh, it's a 575 roll. And he's left him on what? Next to nothing hit points. He just needs a gentle tap, but somebody else finishes him off. Wow. Just wow, 1,260 bounced and 3,530 dished out. Wow, deserved mastery and a truly spectacular tank. And I'd like to thank Harrier 77 for kindly sharing that replay with us. Next up, we got Philippines 121 of the Clan 4, given in rolling out in one of my favorite tanks, the Object 704, the Russian Tier 9 TD on the North American server. Now, I do love this tank. I mean, it's the tank that precedes the ISU 152, and boy, is this a fun tank. The armor on this thing, I mean, look at all those angles. I mean, the way that tank armor works in real terms is you're not meant to have any vertical angles. And look at it. There's hardly any vertical angle on this thing anywhere. I mean, it's all so flat, and it's a fantastic looking tank. And boy, does it pack a punch. I mean, you've just seen there, it's just bounced 600 from the other Object 704, yet at the same time knocked 700 into it. And this is what this tank can do. I mean, this tank can go around the battlefield like an ASU 152, be slightly aggressive in it, like Philippines is doing here. You can just bully the other side into submission. I mean, look at this, 2,400 damage, and we're hardly into, the 3rd minute of the game. He hasn't taken a kill yet, but he's dished out 2,400 damage. That Panther's gone. And he's been instrumental in it. I mean, look at this Louver. Hello, Louver. Boom. Massive roll into the back of the Louver. It's a beautiful tank, and when it's played like this, okay, he's taken a hit, but nothing to write home about and nothing to trouble him. He bounces from the Louver. He's now bounced over to 1,200. He's dished out over 3,000 damage. Hello, Object 704. I'm going to, square off and just pounce you with a big high roll of over 400. I mean, what a tank. It's decimated this battlefield. 3,700 dished out, 1,200 bounced, and he hasn't finished yet. Okay, he's lost a little bit of hit points, but nothing. Now it's 2 against 1. Now it's 1 against 1 because he's now dished out 4,000 damage. I mean, is there any stopping Philippines? I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that he's run out of tanks to kill, he could go on and on. I mean, look at this. I mean, this poor Centurion, 7-1. I mean, what's he going to do? He's trying to get round the back. He's trying to do it. He's trying to get round there. He's got no hit points. Philippines has still got hit points. What's going to happen? Well, look, he's still bouncing. That's bounced on the side. And now he's got the advantage. Hello. Goodbye. Simple fact of life. 4 kills. 5,836 damage, just shy of 2,000 bounced. I mean, that is just a fantastic mastery and a beautiful game in that tank. And I'd like to thank Philippines 121 at the Clan Forgiven for kindly sharing that replay. Last but by no means least, Foxinus Potens, aka PhoXy, a very good friend of mine, from the Clan BPS, rolling out in the Tortoise, the British Tier 9 TD on the EU server. Now, what can I say? I love the Tortoise. I think it's one of the best TDs in the game. A lot of people disagree with me. Why do they disagree with me? Because it's slow and it's bulky. Why do I love it? Because it's got a fantastic gun and it has fantastic armor. And you know what? A lot of people like grinding this thing. I hate grinding this thing. They just want the DS. I would take this over the Death Star any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Why? Because the DPM on this eclipses the Death Star. On its standard AP, this has a DPM of 3,702. The Death Star on its standard is 3,012. On the HE, this has 4,766. The Death Star only has 4,211. This thing is a beast, and you don't realize it. A lot of people don't realize how much of a beast this is. Well, watch this game. I mean, PhoXy is a big damage monster at the best of times. I mean, most of his games come in with high damage. This is a Tortoise, guys. He's already done over 2,400 damage, and I haven't even got to the point about its armor. I mean, we all know that Death Star is paper thin, and, you know, if you blow randomly in its direction, it will fall over and fold like a deck chair in a high wind. This, on the other hand, is really difficult to pen. Okay, Fox has lost some of his hit points, but look where he's been. He's been sat here in the middle of, you know, it's an E100. There's an ST1. I mean, there's tanks all over the place, and he's dished out over 4,000 damage. I mean, there's an object over there, an object 704. Boom. You know, he's just going to plow shots into him. Hello, object. I'm just going to sit here. You can't take me, and I'm just going to plow round after round because my reload is really, really great. Goodbye, 704. He's now dished over 5,000 damage. He's now taken his third kill because there goes the ST1. It's just the E100 left. I mean, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And if any of you say that this is a rubbish tank, that it's pants, you need to watch this game. There is kill number 4, and that's an E100. So, wow, I mean, what do you want, guys? I mean, he's dished out 6,000 damage. He's taken 4 kills. That is a well-deserved mastery in a Tier 9 TD that a lot of people don't like. I'd like to thank PhoXy, my good friend, for kindly supplying his replay. I mean, it's fantastic to watch you play. Then again, I'd like to thank all the others. So big thanks go out to Jonty2014 of EMRS, Harrier77 of 49 Div, and Philippines 121 of Forgiven. Guys, without you, these videos wouldn't get made. Simple as that. Anyway, I've been Fujit, and the replays have been provided by, you know, you, the players. If you've got any decent replays, by all means send them to me, fujitsblitz@gmail.com. By all means, comment, like, or even dislike below. And if you haven't yet, press subscribe. It's a nice thing to do, and it costs you nothing, and it puts a smile on my face. Other than that, I will say my usual. Stay safe out there, have fun on the battlefield, and happy tanking. You know what? That's all it's about. Having fun and being happy, guys.